Seems like all my best laid plans living to this foreign land where my mind breathes easy and free. Set a course and God knows where. No the winds can take me there to that shore I was meant to be. I'm almost there. Secret in my vacant stare. My eyes fix on the road and sea. That's what I'm talking about back there. My destiny sailing toward eternity and hoping that the stars behold the key. Reach that shore, lonesome I may be no more. All the songbirds gather round and say, all my friends who've gone before, meet me on this distant shore. Hear them all, it's paradise a ringing. Suffering no more pain, for the sunshine sails the rain, and it's even time to watch the flowers grow. Go find your way, go to a brighter day and find there ain't nothing you won't do. Jake, why don't you take one? Trim the sails, check the map beneath the gales. Sailor knows that the ship won't sail long. Take my hand, I grab a line. Hold on fast, there is sad time. For the winds, fortune start blowing. Just what you need, won't be real, but hail green will weather all the stormy nights below. Thanks. Linda learned, these guys, Ian and Linda, they learned all the words of that song just to help me out too.
Well, my name's Linda, and I'm really friggin' happy to be back here. Last year was supposed to be my last year, and it's great to be back, so thanks for having me. I'm going to be teaching songwriting, and I actually wouldn't be teaching if it hadn't been for working with inmates at New Folsom Prison in California is where I first started teaching, which is, they were a captive audience, needless to say. But, you know, it's such a pleasure working with them, and I never even really dreamt that you could teach songwriting in the first place. I went to a couple of songwriting camps. I just thought people just did it, you know, it's something everybody did, but there actually are some tips and tricks you can use. One of the things that I really like to stress to everyone is you have to remember to let yourself write absolute crap, because you're gonna. You know, I've written so many terrible songs, nobody will ever, you know, they'll never see the light of day. So, but you gotta remember that crap is the best fertilizer. So yeah, so I really like to try and create a really safe space for everyone. Sometimes songwriting can be incredibly vulnerable. You know, there's funny songs, there's really sad songs, there's political songs, there's anything you want to write. We all have our own kind of shared experiences, but we're all incredibly individual. We have our own lives and our own things that have happened. By the time you get to be my age, I'm 72 now, you get kicked around a lot, you know, so there's a lot of different things, a lot of experiences, and we'll be doing a lot of different exercises to help bring a lot of that out. I'm never worried about writer's block. I don't believe in writer's block. There's lots of ways to get around it. We'll be doing a lot of exercises, you know, to help kind of get the creative juices flowing if you feel you haven't written anything in a while. Push-ups, yeah. Yeah, so it's really fun. I love songwriting, and it's amazing the things that come out of this group. We'll be doing a lot of different games. One of the things that I love to do is to take a noun. Everybody writes down a noun, puts it in a hat, and then the other hat you write a verb, and then everybody writes a song based around whatever they pulled out of the hats, and it's amazing. I think Michelle and you wrote that song "Pomegranate Love" with Kirsten. It was, oh my God, pomegranate and love, like, and they came up with a friggin' killer song. So it's a lot of fun. And the performance class, again, like, you know, I've done thousands of shows and I still get nervous sometimes. It's going to happen for everybody. Some people it's really debilitating. I think you just got to remember that the people out there in the crowd, they don't want you to fail. They're on your side, you know. So again, I'm just trying to create a really safe space for everybody. And I think it's important as an audience member too, like when we're all sitting here and watching people, don't sit there looking like you've just lost your best friend. Because, you know, when we look out, it's really nice to see people smiling and stuff, you know. So we do a little bit of that as well. And George is, tomorrow we won't be able to do it because we won't have any power here, but depending on what room we're in, we'll probably have a little PA. We can do some work with microphones, and I have a bunch of different vocal exercises and things that, you know, we'll be working on. And, so yeah, there's some body warm-ups and things like that too. So it's just so much fun. I love it. Performance is a really interesting thing. And Patty, when you sit, you create a whole other persona than when you stand. You know, so it's kind of your thing. You can if you're really freaked out, you can be somebody else. Be another character, you know, if that helps you kind of get out of your freakdom, you know, you're scary, not freakdom, but the scare, you know, it's because it's really scary sometimes. Freakdom, yeah. So I am going to say and this is a song that I wrote a long time ago, and it sat in a book for 10 years. And I kind of forgot about it. That's another thing we'll be doing in the songwriting class. If you, depending on, how many people want to do it, if you have some songs that you've been working on and you're having some trouble trying to get them finished or you just don't feel like they're where you want them to be, we'll work with everybody in the group and get everyone's opinions and we'll go from there. But this song, as I mentioned, I wrote it, I think it was in 2011 or something, and I just couldn't get the pieces to fit for some reason, so I just left it alone, and about 10 years later I found it in this book and it turned into the title track of one of my CDs. It's called Rough Edges and Ragged Hearts. Doesn't mean I must fall. Single file, ladies change, stand the line, rendezvous, away, outside shade, turn back. Rough edges and ragged hearts come together just to fall apart. Living the night heart. Rough edges and ragged hearts. Ragged hearts. that's something to watch out for too.
Okay, so let me talk first. So we're talking about the same song because Richard's going to be playing a nice song, okay? And so I'll start right out with what I'm teaching. I'm teaching anatomy of the song first. An anatomy of the song, if you haven't taken that, it's we take a song and we kind of dissect it. We look at all the parts. We look at it bar by bar. And we say, what's changed in these last 4 bars? How does this sound different than that? We'll look at the nugget that starts to bring the song into what it is, which is that song. That's the DNA of the song. All these little decisions that the producer makes along the way. And so we'll listen to the songs critically and dole out parts, and there's a lot of parts in there, and there's easy parts. So if you're just starting, you can sit there and you do, just point down a couple notes, and that's probably in that song somewhere. There's also complicated chords, which other maybe advanced players might take part of, or we'll break that chord into like 2 components just to make it simpler. But we'll try and get the essence of what that song sounds like as a group. And then we'll put those parts back together and we'll perform that song. And you'd be surprised how you can get, even with the acoustic instruments, how we can, and some electric instruments, we can get it to sound like that by paying attention to those little things that make the difference along the way. So it kind of helps you learn to listen a little more critically. That's the anatomy of the song. The cage system, it's new to me. The cage system, I had this kind of idea what it was about, just knowing that you play a C here, take that C shape and move it up here, it's a different chord to wherever you plant it, There's something about the cage system I hadn't realized until just recently, which is ridiculous. And I'm going to have you guys help me with this because where those pencils are, I want you guys to just take a C, and I want you guys to spell the word cage. Okay, so this side's just C-A-G-E-D. You're going to say C. So, for example, I'm playing this chord right here. Where's cage? What is that? C. You stick with that word C. What's the next letter in the word? A. So I'm just planting my capo, not west, and then playing an A shape. Then I've got A. C chord, A shape. What's the next shape? I'm going to capo there. Shape. C again. And the cable here. What's the next? E shape. It's a C. And what's the next one? We have a D, which is
12 frets. 12 frets.
Yeah. 12 fret.
12 fret D. 12 fret D.
Right? So, okay. And it goes anywhere. So I start with an A, and I want to play A. The next one I'll play a G. I'll go there, and I'll play a G shape. And I have to go.
Don't give it all away. Save some.
So what we're going to do with that is learn the neck down, and we're going to start. It's good for people that are capable. It's also good for soloists because you'll start to be able to play, You'll start at the neck, you start to realize that the 135, whatever. So it's another way of playing diagonally. I just realized how nicely that. I've been doing it forever, but I never realized that that's what I was doing. So you're going to get that nugget way before 40 years of playing. So yeah, that's what I'll be teaching. And I also want to say part of what I do as a side person is I can say I've got a bunch of different instruments. I'll grab a component of a song and try and make something sound natural. Maybe like opening part of just opening chords. Because we were playing this the other day.
Oh, I need another cable.
Oh.
Anybody have another cable? Yeah. I got some. Oh, wait a minute. I got one. I just do cables. So part of what I was learning
song, so we're trying to figure out what should I be playing in this song, and then I brought it through. Scott was playing something else that's on the slide, and I said, that's perfect. We won't do the whole song, just do a little bit of Scott. I just want to do the opening chorus.
Just the intro?
Yeah, so it's just the opening chorus. So, Scott says, son, he left. Where did the Beatles do? So I put this song.
Use the microphone, please.
I'm done.
So I took Linda's microphone technique course last year, and that's why I'm speaking directly into the microphone. So you might do that someday too, if you get to a good advice. So I'm Richard, and this is Jake, my son Jake. We be drumming. And so we'll, tomorrow afternoon, I think, in the third slot, which is kind of the slot that's full of options. And sometimes people choose to come and drum. You know, they get, their fingers are tired or something like that. And so what we have planned is kind of multifaceted. There's sort of 3 days. It'll depend a little bit on who shows up. But there's kind of 3 days and 3 plans. So a third of each day. Anyway, the plan is to get together and hang out and play some hand drums and get to know some rhythms and together and that sort of thing. And hopefully that rhythm learning will apply to your guitar playing, your general musicianship. So that's good enough. Okay. Yeah, it's the rhythm course. So if there are mosquitoes, you'll want to take my course. But anyway, the second part, and it's something that I'm really committed to, and it also kind of falls into what Scott was talking about, is it's a drumming percussion accompaniment. When you're playing, especially when you're playing with acoustic musicians, I bet most of these guitar players in the room would have a story about how some djembe player came in and wrecked their jam session kind of thing, because the drums are loud and yes, there is that. Anyway, so I'd like to spend some time helping you folks know what it takes to support and so on. And actually that, this demonstration playing in Mark's song might give you a little sense of the different approaches to that. And then the final thing, and the thing that I'm so excited about is, Mark and I for a couple of years now have been going to Prince Rupert and doing a mini guitar camp. And it's based, I think, very much based on his idea of deconstruction of a song and then building it back up again. And this year, we were kind of collaborating. So a portion of your lesson will be training up to be the drum people in this great big honking, rocking something, right? So we'll spend a little bit. So that's what those workshops will look like. If that's interesting, please come and hang out. And again, depending on the group that hangs out, we may shift that into halves and quarters and that sort of thing, what we do. But it should be lots of fun.
I'm there for the ride.
So this is it's really quick. This is a song I wrote when I just learned how to tune this thing to C6. To touch on Scott's point, that Western swing thing is a 6 tuning. Just wants to dance, wants to move right away, right?
Can't hear you, Mark.
Yeah, would you like me to sing?
It wants to dance right away. That's having the C6, that chord just really wants to dance, right? So when I first got this deal, I learned how to tune it to the C6. And then I just started playing around, and then one chord became another, then that note led into another, led into another, led into another, and this song came out of it. So, just follow that.
And just to tip the band off, the the drum solo in the middle is going to be a little longer than you.
I thought it was easier to apologize later. so fun to play. That's the thing. Yeah.
So, okay, so Linda asked, she asked about this when we were on,
Microphone.
I'm sorry, Michael. Yeah.
Linda was asking about this when we were on tour.
Yeah, look at it. So this is something that I built because I was playing with the Pedro Gastes Oro and I was bringing all these lines of an instrument that I already knew how to play a little bit. And I was bringing that to this kind of dirge-like, kind of minor sound, and you want to kind of surfier sounds and stuff, and I just couldn't find it, so I thought I was going to explore a little more. Actually, it was a different band. It was another band from Finland, but it was called The Thousand Cuts. And I kept playing all these kind of bluesy lines and stuff, so I decided to make myself an instrument that like, there's no way I can know how to play it. So, because it changes all the time. I can change the... You know, so I just changed everything like that, so that it was so I just ended up in the chord there, and like, and I thought, no, I just put the, you know, like, with bars. Slide. But I want to play with the bow. This ribbon there, you could punch your own holes into it however you wanted to. So I could put that in there too. We get paid big bucks to play this.
Some of the biggest nuts are on the outside.
I think I would call it ego Yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out, and we'll see you by the campfire whenever we're done with singing, so it's fun.
And have your showers before 8 o'clock, just a reminder.